Hi, and welcome to Devotionables, brief Christmas songs for busy singers. My name is Roger Seekell. I'm one of the deacons and one of the worship team here at 9th and O Baptist Church. So one day years ago, I was working on fixing computers in the school system, and I happened to sit in upon a class, I think it was early middle school or late elementary school, where they had a music teacher, come in and try to explain older Christmas songs and what these older words mean. So he addressed questions like, what are boughs? What is a Yuletide? And what do trolls have to do with it? So this month in Devotionables, we're looking at some of the Christmas songs that we sing throughout this month and dive in a little deeper into some of those lyrics. Today I'm going to look with you at Hark, the Hareld Angels Sing. So just some brief trivia about the song. Its words were written by Charles Wesley, but originally with a more somber tune. So a classical composer named Felix Mendelssohn gave it the more lively tune that we know today. Over the years, other folks like George Whitefield have tweaked the song to become the song that we know and sing today. For many years, this lyric in the middle of the second verse was one that caught my attention and gave me pause. Veiled in flesh, the Godhead see, hail the incarnate deity, pleased as man with men to dwell, Jesus, our Emmanuel. I really like that wordplay, pleased as man with men to dwell. Now, it's a little bit odd phrase for our language today, so some people have rewritten it to say, pleased in flesh with us to dwell, but I don't think that's as poetic. So what is this verse telling us? Jesus is God, but has become man so that he can be among men, humans. This is the incarnation, a marvelous thing where the all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present Son of God is now limited to one place, one time, and an infant body. And it's something he wanted to do, not something he was forced to do. This is John 1:14. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son of God, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. So people see this guy, and he looks like an ordinary guy, but he acts like a God. He acts like our God, Yahweh. Everyone can tell there's something different about this man. Even the centurion at the cross said, surely this man was the Son of God. I think most of you watching this are pretty well off. You have a nice home, a warm place to live, you have clothes, you have food at your disposal. At least I know you have the internet. So imagine if you decided to give all that up. You got rid of your house, so you no longer had a warm place, you're out in the cold. Imagine that you gave up your phone, so you had no internet, no long-distance communication, you had no food available for you, you just had to rely on others. Well, that's what Jesus did. He gave up the comforts of heaven so he could live here among us humans and be dependent on humans, be dependent on his parents, and even when he was in his ministry, he was dependent on the women for his needs. Then on the cross, in the most dirty and humiliating way, he submitted to the will of the people to put him to death. Of course, that was God's will too. So why did he do it? What did he die for? Throughout the Bible, we see many examples of people moving farther and farther away from God, to go away from his glory. But that's to show the magnitude of God's grace, so that even as far away as we have gone, he is willing not only to save us, but to identify with us and to become one of us. Hebrews 2:17 says, therefore he had to be made like his brothers and sisters in every respect, so that he could become a merciful and faithful high priest in things relating to God, to make atonement for the sins of the people. The only way that God could save us humans was to become a human himself. Jesus is the deity who was pleased to dwell with mankind in the flesh, and then died for our punishment, so that whoever trusts in him, man or woman, boy or girl, regardless of your country or your upbringing, you can be saved and forgiven. And what's better is that Jesus rose again, so that we know that we don't have to be dead, but live with him forever. Jesus was pleased to come down and dwell with us for a time, but he will come again, and then we who have trusted in him will be pleased to dwell with God forever. So The verse we looked at was about what Jesus had done. If I could write a verse for what Jesus will do, it might sound something like this. Jesus face to face will see, clothed in immortality, pleased with God in heaven to dwell, no more sin or death or hell. Let this reminder of what Jesus has done and will do bring joy and peace in your life. God bless you today.